just geese being shot all around me. You can hear the gunshots there. Right, so I'm back at the wetlands today and I'm on the search for a kestrel or a red kite. Now, I have seen a kestrel and a red kite already, but really far away. And as you can see, it's quite bright. Even though the clouds are quite dark, it's still quite bright. So I wasn't able to get any good footage. Now, behind me here, that's where I've just walked. This is why I haven't started the video just yet, is because when I was walking down there, somebody stopped me and said to me, look, do you mind, you can see there's a bank there, do you mind walking on the bottom of the bank? And I said, well, why? And they said, there's a geese cull going on. And you won't be able to hear it on the mic because it's too far away now. But when I walked down that lower bank, there were just geese being shot all around me. Now, it was a little bit upsetting to hear at first because you can literally hear the gunshots and then the geese as they fall. This is quite graphic, but as I was walking, I then spoke to the farmer at the end, which I tried to record, but unfortunately it didn't go through. You can kind of understand why they're doing it. It's to protect the crops. We're surrounded by farmland here, all around me, and these geese, essentially, they eat the crops. I was talking to the farmer about it, as soon as they till the crops, put the seeds or the spuds or whatever into the ground, the geese then come along and dig them back up and eat them. So you can understand why they do it. Now, when I confronted the farmer about it, you can hear the gunshots there. When I confronted the farmer about it, they seemed quite sensitive, but to an extent, you can understand why. Now, as you can see, down here is the wetland where they're actually producing the cull, where they're doing the cull. And you can see there's these 3 farmers walking along the side of the riverbank here with these white flags in their hand, which they beat to scare the water birds away from the edge of the water. And it's working quite effectively. All the water birds have moved into the middle of the lake, away from where they're trying to cull the geese. And there's a man in a boat as well, out there collecting any geese and scaring away any swans and water birds that they're not trying to cull. Now, as I walk through, there's all these signs about protecting the wildlife and the importance of the wildlife here, keeping dogs on leads, stuff like that. And it seems quite contradictory for them to be shooting geese as I walk around. Now, this is one of the tougher videos I've actually filmed so far because as I walk around, there is literally constant gunshots. I'm not sure if any of them have been picked up, but it's pop, pop, left, right and centre, which is quite off-putting actually when you're trying to talk to camera, but also at the same time, just thinking about what is going on is pretty tough as well. The geese that I literally photographed yesterday are being shot over there to protect the crops. But at the same time, as an ecologist, you can see why it's done. You have to appreciate that the farmers need to make a living, they need to grow the food, they need to protect their crops. And there is already high populations of geese in the UK. Geese aren't a threatened species, so you can understand why they're doing what they're doing currently. My hopes of getting a kestrel and a red kite are now completely gone because of the shooting that's going on over there. Everything has just been scared away. Now, as you can see, where I was earlier all the way over there is actually quite far away now. So behind me, where I've got my camera set up here, is a bit of a quieter spot. It's a bit nicer. The wildlife is much less disturbed. In those branches behind me, you won't be able to see it, there's a little egret just perched on the branches. So I'm just getting some footage of that with my A6700. So it's at 600mm at the moment on this tripod. The tripod's really not great. It's a really cheap one from Amazon, so it's not stable, but I'll show you what the camera can see at the minute. I'm going to walk towards it and just see if I can get a little bit of on video, just to compare the true quality of my A6700 with my iPhone, which is actually quite good for vlogging as well, combined with a microphone. You do need a microphone, but yeah, let's see if I can get in. So yeah, that's what I'm currently filming. It's actually really the first proper bit of wildlife that I've actually managed to get close enough to film. Now, back over there was a cormorant that I was able to get a few photos of, which I'll show you now. But again, it was flying away from me and it was quite hard. I'm quite pleased with these photos actually, but it was quite hard to get. And then there was also a grey heron earlier on. But again, that all got scared away because of the farmers, which is a shame, but I suppose we've recovered something from the day and also learned something new. about what goes on here. No red kites, no kestrels, but we'll see how the day ends. Okay, so the egret has just flown away over that way. Gonna move the setup now over this way, see what we can see, but I think gonna wrap it up in the next half an hour because, like I said earlier, everything has just been scared away by the farmers, so there really isn't much to photograph, and we'll just come back another day. And when I was shooting the egret over there, because it's so bright white and the background is still bright because of the clouds, I've had to dim the exposure right down so that the background was underexposed, but the egret was still nice, bright and white, but correctly exposed. Because if I left the exposure about 0, then that bright white egret in the center of the frame would have just been completely overexposed and blown out to a point where I wouldn't be able to recover it in post. Now, to deliver the final question of the video, as a wildlife lover, this was a tough video to film, walking around and hearing the gunshots, but you have to see it from the farmer's side as well. It's their livelihood and they need to protect the crop. What do you guys think about this geese cull on a protected wetland reserve?